grab your cocktails, grab your coffee, grab your tea, and also those biscuits. Sit back and listen to us in the Divine Oracle readings on the Spotify, Tuesdays at 8 o'clock in the morning. This is right where we'll be discussing spiritual topics and the latest news with your hosts, Gypsy Lady Eva and Brother Chris.
Alrighty, well, good evening, everybody. I know you guys have been missing us both, but a lot has happened. So, Eva, how are you?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 9.
A 9. Now, I know before we went live, though, you were talking about allergies. It is that
Oh,
type of
gosh.
season right now.
Well, not only that, they're also starting to harvest the beans, which puts a lot of that stuff in the air, too. So it's rather difficult sometimes to just even take a deep breath.
Yes, yes, I totally hear you. I totally hear you. So tonight, though, we're going to be talking about Eva's actually journey. Well, I've been gone away, which you guys almost lost me. So we're gonna talk about that.
Oh, we both were there.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. We're also gonna be talking about Eva's journey altogether, and also we're gonna be talking about spirit guides. All right, because I came across my spirit guide while I was actually somewhere. So, um,
The paranormal can happen at any time, so that's why our Etsy store is always open. Get your paranormal items from cleansing to protection to attraction, all available now on our Etsy store. Search Haunting Live.
Another great podcast to listen to is Haunting Live Podcast with your host Trevor, interviewing tons of people throughout the world. Listen on any of your podcast providers.
Be sure to check out our new website at HauntingLivePodcast.com. That's again those. Check out HauntingLivePodcast.com.
Can I ask you a quick question?
yep,
You can see me on your screen.
yes, I can.
Is there something over this shoulder?
Over that shoulder, I see like a dark shadow sort of standing behind you.
Not one of the shadow people. Definitely not that.
So,
But they're okay. I just wanted to be sure.
yeah, yeah.
Talk about spirit guides. There they are.
Yeah, yeah. And my spirit guides are with me. So
Yes, it would be.
it's on the right hand side.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I'm looking at a reflection or if I'm looking at. Okay, they are with us tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I say they because we each have more than one.
Yeah. Yeah, we do actually. Ran into the hall like a couple days ago. I ran into one lady though. She took the wrong hallway in the garage. And anyway, so she came up and she was standing at the mailboxes and her and I were chit chatting. Found out she's a spiritual medium. And the weird thing though is she's like, Chris, just to let you know, you've got tons and tons of people behind you on your right hand side. Your right hand side is so bright, it's so white.
Oh, neat.
Right? And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. She goes, let you know it's actually family members from what you've gone through. They're actually here to help you out. So it's like, gosh.
I know part of mine are family, but a lot of them are not.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the ones that has been with me constantly is a medicine woman.
Okay, yeah.
Although it's not Native American, more like a druid type thing.
Yeah.
And the other one is, I hate to say it this way, but he's a British soldier from India.
Okay.
Don't know, because when I look at him, I see a pith helmet and the whole. So yeah, we got him wandering around with us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And for the people that are just wondering though about your guardian angels, now let you know though you do not actually have to worry because we all have guardian angels with us. There are different ways so that you can get in contact with your guardian angel. You can do meditation. Meditation is the most common one, but there are also different techniques altogether.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what other techniques would you say?
Well, there is simply just, you don't even have to meditate. You can just start talking.
Yeah.
Don't do that in a public area. They look at you funny. Seriously, I mean, just start talking. Pose questions. They will give an answer. Let's see, talking to them.
Yeah.
Meditation. Uh, Another one, I've seen it being used, and it's very interesting. It's automatic writing.
Yeah.
Another one. And for those of you who don't understand that, it's where you just open up, you put a pen in your hand or a pencil, whichever is the easiest to use. You put it on a sheet of paper, and it'll just start working.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
Sometimes the message that comes across, it's very, very interesting.
yeah.
Another thing is candle gazing, where you simply light a candle, preferably a white candle. That's what they say. I use a pink candle, so it, whatever color you feel most comfortable with, and you just simply gaze into the flame. That's one. That's another one. And we could just keep going.
Yeah.
We could do a whole program.
Yeah. I have a message here, and this is actually from actually this book here, Spirit Talker.
Okay.
It's brand new one, Sean. So for anybody that's Canada, you might have seen Sean actually on APTN. He's a personal friend actually of Haunting Live podcast. Anyway, so he's got down, meet your spirit guides. When you're ready to connect with your spirit guides, talk to them out loud, sort of like what Eva was saying. They will let you know actually when they'll reply back to you. Know though that they are nice. Actually, within their speaking to you, just speak out loud to your guides. Speak out loud to your guides. It's all that is needed. So yeah, that's a great way. Another way though that you could actually have contact with them, which is actually written down also here, which is also in dreams. Your spirit guides could actually talk to you within dreams.
The one problem that I have with that is you got to remember your dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went quite a while without. I knew I had dreams, but I didn't remember them. If you don't remember them, you can't really. But on the other hand, if you specifically ask for a spirit guide to come to you in a dream, you will remember it.
Yeah.
Boy, will you remember it.
Yeah. It's and it's so true though. Most of my dreams I remember because my spirit guides have always been there. But from actually August 8th to last Friday, I do not remember much. And we'll sort of get in topic about that. Eva's
can I say it?
Yeah, go right ahead.
That's normal for me. I mean, why don't you? Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's so love it. It's
well, there is a theory that you are not, your memory is taken away when the situation is beyond tolerance.
Yeah.
So just gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah. So those who are watching right now, I do say thanks a lot. Even for I've been posting actually underneath Facebook about this show here. Now, for myself, though, I'll sort of let you know, August 8th, I was in Stratford, Ontario. It was International Stratford Day. So all the Stratfords throughout the world were actually celebrating this certain date. So they actually had people from different countries, and some Canadians, so from Stratfords, actually at the Stratford Perth Museum. That day, though, was an awesome day. Really, really hot and everything. Now, what had happened though is I went to the food truck and I was trying some food, and I turned around to the host of Haunting Live podcast, which you can actually be able to watch actually on Spotify and a whole bunch of other apps. Anyways, I turned around to him and I was like, this does not taste right. So I went to the washroom thinking, all right, I needed to go to the washroom. Anyway, so as I couldn't go to the washroom, I was trying to throw up. Nothing. I broke out within a major heat. Now, what had happened though is I actually had some ulcers, which I never realized I had ulcers. They kind of ruptured. Thinking it's still that there was a nurse actually on hand with a doctor. Paramedics showed up, a fire department showed up. I went to Stratford, Ontario's General Hospital, and that's all I really remember. Now, there are footnotes though from Trevor, which I do say thanks a lot, hon. Though that I was actually, they did an operation to get the ulcers out, then all of a sudden there was a leakage inside my body. They had to go back in and find the leakage. Now, I was transferred to Grand River Hospital in Kitchener, and from that there, I was put into a coma. I was in a coma for roughly 2 weeks. But man, the drugs that I was actually on, holy cow. And like Eva, actually, she's been on some of the drugs also in the past. But yeah, you believe so much stuff. I had friends coming to visit me while I was actually out of the coma. I was actually in ICU, and I was telling them to walk through walls. And I thought the walls you could actually walk through. And there's some other stuff. So yeah, Eva, if you have any questions, feel free.
Keep going.
So the other thing though is I was moved up to the 6th floor eventually, and I was moved up there to the 6th floor, which was 6 North. There's recovery and operation recovery floor. I moved up during the middle of the night. At 12 o'clock, I moved up, and room. I was actually on. What's that machine again? Though that you were actually just on.
Me?
Yeah.
The wound vac?
Yeah. Thank you. So I was actually on the wound vac. I was actually on that big time. But eventually those I was actually taken off, and I was taken off last Friday, actually of that. So throughout this whole incident, I was on death row, or death road, or whatever you want to call it. They turned around to Trevor and they said that they weren't sure if I was going to survive. I was actually literally on life support. Major stuff actually happened. Now, the one thing that I was talking about spirit guides, which is what we were just talking about. One of my spirit guides, which is my great grandmother, she came to me because last week, well, the final week actually in the hospital, I wanted out big time. And I was ready to sign out. So I was telling actually the staff members in the hallway, I'm ready to sign out. I went down to the room. I sat on my bed. And that's right when I was hit with my great grandmother. She would, you can remember though, I'm indigenous. Yeah, I may have white skin, but that's from my mother. So basically though, she turned around and was yelling at me. She said to me, if you walk out now, there's no more Trevor, which is my life partner. She told me to wait. So I waited till the Friday. Everything was lined up. I now have therapy coming in. I also have nurses coming in changing the bandages. So my great grandmother came to me, and she's one of my spirit guides. So again, though, it's like what Eva and I were just saying though. Your spirit guides are always with you. You got to learn how to listen to them. And
sometimes, you can tell. Also, I'd like to
go ahead.
A little bit with spirit guides, when I was getting into the whole paranormal phenomena, I was told there's a lot of spirit guide me around me. And I said, well, the problem is I will do the work that they asked me to do, which included getting into reading tarot and working with people that way. But I told my spirit guides, I don't want one of these flutter of the butterfly wings sort of message. I want a 2x4 up alongside my head, because I'm not going to listen otherwise. And you know, over the years, I've been given that 2x4. Trust me. You can tell them how you want that message to come across, and they will comply. They will listen. And believe me, be prepared
Yeah.
because sometimes it's like I say, a 2x4 up alongside the head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's exactly sort of what had happened to me, right? And it's at first though, if you're not in tune with your spirit guides, it's kind of scary at first, right? Because you're like, what the heck is going on? Um, Now, the one lady though that I was just saying though I ran into this week, actually down in the mail area. She was picking up a whole bunch of stuff she would do with my own life, which was so wonderful. Her and I, we connected spiritually. But she said the best thing to do is actually grab the stone to get in contact with my spirit guide and also my angel. All right, we all have angels that are with us 24/7. All right, mine though, all right, is Raphael. So she told me what stone to get. I went to Trevor and I. We had to go and get some supplies for our Etsy store. Anyway, so I was at the store. I was talking with the staff members there, and I said, "How much would this stone cost?" Ended up, I got a free stone, which you put actually on your heart chakra, and you can get in contact with your angels that way. You can notice whenever you get in contact with the angels, turn around and say thank you for being there,
Always.
and actually gratitude them. Okay, they're like you and me. All right. Whenever your neighbors come and help you, what's a common thing though that you always say? Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So
Always.
again though is I've gone through a lot, but right when I was actually in the hospital, I found out something to do with Eva. She no longer has Darth Vader with her. So
Yeah, my wound back. Can I tell the story?
yeah, go ahead.
The reason I call it Darth Vader is I was at the big vascular center in U of M. And as I was waiting there, I had my wound vac around my neck because I was still hooked up to it. And it was easier than trying to take care of this and make sure that it was just easier to keep it around my neck. Well, some little kid, he was probably 9, 10 years old, looked at me, pointed and kind of giggled and said, "Darth Vader." And I looked at him and I said, "Yes, son, I am his mother." And he just ran away giggling, and it just made me happy.
Yeah.
So after that, I referred to my wound vac as Darth Vader. That's the little story.
Yeah. Yeah. So Eva's off of it, which is awesome.
Yes, which is like getting out of the cage or something. You have to be aware you can't get it kinked, you can't do this, you can't do that, you got to move this way, going to bed is a trip.
Yeah.
And I don't have that anymore. It's just a bandage. The wound is healing tremendously. I know you put it out on the line to please keep me in your prayers. Different people, other people that I know who do this also have put prayers out for me, and I know those prayers help. And they said I probably would be wearing it for at least a year.
Yeah.
Well, it's less than a year. It's probably about 8 months that I've been wearing it and or had it on. And different people that haven't seen me in a while at the wound clinic who see me again after several weeks they're just astounded at how well it has healed. I know it's prayers. I know it's help.
Yeah.
And I trust that, and I know my guides are also working with me to heal. So
Yeah.
I'm very pleased, and I do say thank you every day before I go to sleep and when I wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. And for what Eva was actually on, I also had, but I didn't have it that long. Right?
No
Now,
Darth Vader?
Yeah, yeah. So what it does though is it actually takes all the liquid, sucks out all the liquids, actually out of your body. All right, and that's what it does. All right, it comes actually in different sizes. There's small little traveling ones. There's also big ones that they use in the hospital, and that's what I had. Those I had the big one. What one did you have? The small one?
I had a small one. It was only like about that big. I guess
Okay.
you can't really tell. Uh,
How
it was
many?
a relatively
How
small.
many
It was
inches?
easy to carry.
How many inches would you say?
Uh, Probably 8 by 10.
Okay.
Um, and it had a strap on it. It wasn't very heavy, which was a good thing, except
Yeah.
when the canister filled up. That's with all the gunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I learned a lot about that sort of stuff. I mean, you think you know all this stuff, and then you go there, and it's like, oh, something else new to learn. But
Yeah.
I was happy with it. I mean, it it kept me well, yeah, it did keep me from dying, because if you don't, it stays in your system and it works against you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, my hand is not dirty. That's a bruise,
That's like
just in
awesome.
case you're wondering.
It happens. So bruises, yes.
No, that's from the IV.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. No. From right where I actually had my IV,
Uh-huh.
there's a little dot there, and that's right where they had mine. They said though I actually had mine actually originally in my arm, and I ripped it out. But talking about rip out, one thing I did rip out right when I was sort of in the coma area, actually of my journey, is I had the tube down my throat, and I ripped that out. So, and
I have yet to experience that. Not that I'm asking to experience, I just don't want to, but
yeah. Yeah, so that's what I had. But for myself to get actually off the evac machine was my final day actually in the hospital. The doctor turned around. He did this swap and all that cleaned up. He said, "Chris, you have two options." I was like, "Okay, well, what is that?" He goes, "You can go natural, which was the area where we had the operation because it was healing quite fast, or else go with the evac." And I said to him, "If you want to go natural, that's up to you." So he went natural. And right when I came home, the hole was roughly actually 2.5 inches. Last time I got it checked was actually 1.2. Sorry, not 2 point inches, sorry, which is 2.5 centimeters. I'm sorry, the difference actually right there. Last time I got it checked, which was actually, I think, Friday, it was actually at 1.2 centimeters. Now, I am actually healing quite fast, but with the and the nurse said pretty soon you won't need me. But last night though, I was sleeping with actually a tape, hospital tape, actually on my stomach area. It fell off, so I had to put the proper bandage on. Looked at it and I was like, okay, fine. Most people, whenever they look at their wounds, it kind of freaks them out. For myself though, I'm the type of person that looks at the stuff, it draws an interest to me because it tells a story.
oh yeah,
Right?
I believe that.
It's like so. But yeah, so go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
No, go ahead.
All right. So basically though is again those that's what's happened to me. That's why you guys haven't seen me or heard from me. And also with Trevor though, Trevor kept it more or less quiet, which I do say thank you. He only told very selective people. All right. I know he didn't tell Eva, but Eva and I we were connecting in the hospital while I was actually in the hospital. All right. Again, those keep your loved ones close. So your loved ones, though, even if you have a little argument with them that day, keep them close because you never know exactly what's going to happen to them. So.
Sometimes you don't get that second chance.
No.
Sorry.
And it's true though. It's true though, because they turned around to Trevor and they said, "Who knows? You might be losing Chris." So that's like God, and I've lost all you guys, especially with my fabulous co-host Eva.
Oh, bless you.
So,
well, you almost lost me this week.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
So
that's like God. So yeah. So again, though, is keep your loved ones close. Right. Keep those people. Put your arm.
You just
out.
never know.
Put your arm out.
Just...
So.
Big hug.
Yeah, yeah. So, anything else you gotta say?
Not really. Not really. Uh, you know that I was in the hospital
Yeah,
overnight. Okay. It was nothing. I don't want to say it was anything not, it wasn't not serious. It was very serious. And you talk about listening to your guides. The doctor's office called me and said, you need to go to emergency now. I said, is it that bad? And it's like, can I do it tomorrow? They said, no, get yourself in there as soon as possible. And I was hemming and hawing, and all of a sudden the 2x4 right up alongside my head, and I heard the voice say, if you don't, you won't.
yeah.
And that's exactly how he put it. And I found out later that had I put it off, I may not have been here. That's how bad it was. And that close. That's why I've got intravenous stuff all over me. They were
Yeah.
doing all kinds of
Poking and
stuff.
all that. What was it?
Oh, yeah.
Every 2 hours?
Every 2 hours. I had, for those of you who didn't know, I had a critically low potassium level. It was down in 1 point something. And 3.5 begins to get into normal range. So I was pretty low. And had I waited in the morning, I may not have been here today.
Yeah.
But I did get there. I did get what I needed. They were giving me intravenous potassium. And in 2 days, it came back up where it was supposed to be. And they said, you can go home. And I about did cartwheels. Yeah, right, in my mind.
In your mind, yeah. Yeah.
And, and I had an interesting goodbye, if you want to put it that way. I got ready to leave. They called the ambulance to take me home. And I was put on a gurney. I hate those things. And as I'm leaving my room, there were 6 of the nurses that were taking care of me. And they were all standing there saying goodbye to me and, good luck, goodbye. And I, oh, thank you, everybody. And I was very grateful for what they did do, even though it was only 2 days. So I'm getting out into the ambulance to take me home. And the man that's taking care of me just looked at me and says, I've never seen that before with a patient leaving.
Yeah.
So that just made me feel so good. And I do appreciate it all.
Yeah. And
So-
your guide's helping you out. So,
Oh, yeah,
That's
definitely. I
fantastic.
know they're here.
yeah.
The guides are there. They are there if you need them no, wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. They are there when you need them the most.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there all the time, but they're also there to help you through these things. And believe me, for what I've gone through health-wise this last year, I'm so glad they're there.
Yeah.
I'm so glad somebody's watching over me because I don't think I'm gonna make it. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like look at me also. So,
So we both have been through. We've been through the mill.
yeah. Yeah. I went over and saw one of the people though that was only allowed actually in the hospital to see me, which was my baby sister today. And she was telling me some of the stories, right when I was actually on the drugs. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm like, they're just listening to him, right? Laughing actually inside myself. And it's like, gosh, so like I actually thought my mother was dead. The funeral actually happened, and I could recall the funeral, everything else. No, it never happened. Right, and that's what some drugs actually can happen actually to you while you're in the hospital.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
it's like so. But again, though, is we do say thanks for a lot for tuning in tonight. If you guys want to be able to contact us, our emails are actually at the end. So yeah, tune in, especially send messages to us, right?
Yeah.
And don't.
Always willing to.
Sorry.
Always willing to read them. Always willing to read them.
Yeah, yeah. And don't stop sending energy healing prayers. All
Thank
right?
you.
Yeah. All right. We all need them. So. Yeah. So from.
It's very interesting. I'm always, if I see something online with one of my friends, say prayers we're needing for this, say prayers, or, this sort of thing. I'm always willing to send healing energies, helping energies, calming energies, whatever's needed. And with this whole thing that happened since the beginning of the year, people are doing it for me, and they're saying you shouldn't have given out so much energies. And it's like, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Well, now it's your turn to get them back. And it's like, I don't, don't go out. This is what we're here for. Shut up.
Yeah. It's like that. So
we don't need to hear your kvetching.
yeah.
I know that's a good Yiddish word.
And it's so true. It's so true. We send out stuff, right? You can send back stuff. So, all right. It's just,
and karma will always help.
Yeah. So, well, again, though, from us to you, we do say thanks very much for tuning in. All right. You guys have a wonderful week. All right. So we'll talk to you guys later.
From there.
We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Book for your private readings with Gypsy Lady Eva at gypsyladyeva49@gmail.com or book with Brother Chris at divineoraclereadings@gmail.com.
You could have listened to the radio. You could have spun some vinyl. You could have played a cassette tape. But you listened to
It's Divine Oracle Readings on underneath Spotify. Another great podcast to listen to is Haunting Live Podcast with your host Trevor, interviewing tons of people throughout the world. Listen underneath any of your podcast providers.